Star-studded Team GB women's football squad containing household names like Lucy Bronn, Kim Little and Ellen White is among the leading contenders to win gold at Tokyo 2020. The 22-ton squad contains 19 English players, 2 Scots in Little and Caroline Weir, and Sophie Ingle from Wales, and they got off to a flying start in their opening game, beating Chile 2-0. Football fans from the home nations will only have to see this team to support this summer, with no male equivalent in Japan. The London Olympics to have both a men and women's team competing for GBT was in London 2012, and that was a historic occasion for both sides. It was the first time in 52 years that there was a men's team at the Games, and the first time ever that there was a women's team. Both teams fell short in their quest to reach the podium, suffering eliminations in the quarter-final stages, with the men bowing out to South Korea on penalties and the women suffering a 2-0 defeat to Canada. Neither squad has had the opportunity to improve upon the performance 4 years later at Rio, due to concerns from the SFA, the FAW and the IFA that it would impact their independence. The three home nations were worried about releasing their players for Team GB international duties could compromise their position as independent nations within FIFA. Without unanimous backing from all four associations, it was decided there would be no men or women's teams in Rio 2016. That changed in the lead up for Tokyo 2020, although only for the women's team. England's strong showing at the 2019 World Cup in France, where they finished fourth, meant Team GB's squad could be entered in the following Olympics after securing one of UEFA's 3 allocated slots. On this occasion, the 4 home nations reached an agreement allowing Team GB women's football squad to take its place at Tokyo 2020. The FA have informed that no such discussions took place about having a men's team, and the only focus was on collaborating with the other home nations to put a women's squad together. In 2015, Trevor Lloyd-Hughes, then the president of FAW, criticised the FA for trying to bully other home nations into accepting a Team GB squad at Rio 2016. England seemed to want to run everything and take over the whole game, he said, but we will not let that happen. The dragon on the Wales has still got the flame coming out of his mouth. We're not going to be bullied. Despite the lack of cooperation since London 2012, Team GB chief Mark England has insisted that he would love for the men's team to build the men's team at Paris 2024. England said, I would absolutely love to take a men's football team to the Olympics Games. I think the experience that the women's team had through the home country's FAs hopefully will be that positive step and impetus for an open future on the men's dialogue. Had the Football Association managed to gain the support of the other home nations, Premier League, a Team GB squad would have looked pretty formidable. The rules dictate that a squad must have no more than 3 players over the age of 23, although in Tokyo the cut-off age is 24 as the games were played a year later. A dozen members of England's squad reached the Euro 2020 final that would have been eligible, including Dean Henderson, Reece James, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Mason Mount, Jadon Sancho, Bukayo Saka and Marcus Rashford. Billy Gilmour and Kieran Tierney would have been the pick of the players for Scotland, with Joe Rodon and Chris Mepham both impressing for Wales during the Euros. Northern Ireland pair Johnny Evans and Stuart Dallas could have made the cut as overage players. So yeah, I ran through the whole squad. This is roughly what the squad could look like. The 3 goalkeepers being Dean Henderson, Aaron Ramsdale and Joe Bursick. The defenders being James Alexander-Arnold, Rodon White, Mepham, Johnny Evans is one of the older players, Tierney and Dallas is one of the older players, and then Jude Bellingham, Billy Gilmour, Phil Foden, Declan Rice, Mason Mount, and Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, Dan James, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If you ask me, I think that's a pretty formidable squad. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Bring your thoughts, comments down below. Follow on Twitter, link in the description below for daily football news. And subscribe to my channel and subscribe right now. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.